We're in Budapest, and
They moved it because of that.
no, we're moving now. I can see the boat is moving away. We're starting to leave on our trip. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at that. It'll be nice in the evening. Wow, this is neat. Our boat's starting to pull away from the other two Viking ships that are docked here in Budapest, and now we're starting our Viking cruise trip on the Danube, starting in Budapest. What a nice evening. We went on a tour of Budapest, at least I did. Paulette was still unpacking here because she lost a suitcase. But now we're on our way, starting tonight. So yeah, I droned earlier. I wish I couldn't drone in this time because we're leaving, but looking pretty good. Beautiful lighting now. I should only drone in these golden hours. I droned in the middle of the day, but it was okay. Gave me an idea of what Budapest is all about. Buda is on one end, one side of the river, and the pest, the flat area, is on the other side. Ooh, look at the gold up there on the building. Viking Billy? What? I thought we were on the Viking Billy. Well, I'm sure we're on the right one now. Boy, this ship goes pretty quick down the river. Holly, what's the name of the ship we're on?
The valley.
Oh, this is the Billy.
Yeah.
Oh, I see there's a valley too. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that nice lighting? Oh. Look at the gold up there on the building. The gilded or gold. It's Friday in Budapest. Apparently Friday is a big day that they all party. The bars are filled on a Friday. And we're heading past the big Parliament buildings up here near the Yellow Bridge. And that Yellow Bridge has a big elbow and it's not straight across the river. I guess we'll be going right under it. This will be good. Yeah, my drone couldn't fly all the way to that bridge. It started to lose signal, so I stopped here at the Parliament buildings up ahead.
That's neat, eh?
Oh, look at the airplane up there too, eh? Yeah, this is neat. Well, that's why they were asking about the other
I
numbers.
didn't know they were going to leave this. Well, they said.
It's at 6.
Yeah, they said 5:45.
Oh yeah, 5:45 though. We're on our way. Look at our beautiful balcony here. Holy shit. Now this is the way to go. This is the way to travel, eh, Paul?
Yeah.
Can't beat it. Paulette doesn't want me to joke anymore about bringing my fishing rod. I don't see anyone fishing along the river.
This apartment building?
Whoop. Not quite. No, when we turn there, a big dome, I think.
Yeah.
Did you walked all the way down there, right?
Yeah.
And here, right somewhere, I don't know where it is it in front of the Parliament buildings? They have all the shoes that were
Right
left.
there, it's across the river, where people
Oh,
are
where the
standing.
people are standing.
All the shoes.
Yeah, explain that. What happened there?
Those are the shoes of the Jews. The Germans put kids and mothers and fathers at the river, on top of the riverbank there, and they just stood there, and then they shot them, and they all fell in the water. These are shoes representing that. They're all.
Are they
big-
bronzed? Bronzed, yeah.
A lot of the shoes.
Yeah. Well,
So it's quite a memorial.
yeah, the Nazi dictators. One thing about talking to Budapest, the Hungarians here, they all were traumatized by both Russia and the Nazis, and now they have their independence. I don't think they'll hopefully ever give it up again.
I'm not getting seasick.
Oh, and today is June the 6th. It's the commemoration of D-Day, 1944, where Ike, I like Ike, finally.
Streetcar there.
What?
The electric streetcar.
Oh yes, you know that we were told about that on the tour. These are from the I think from the Second World War. They're old streetcars, and you know it's
Just
free.
Just like what Kitchener had.
Yeah, it's free for anyone over 65.
Oh,
Even tourists, if you have a passport, you get on there free. They don't charge you. This is incredible.
look at how gothic this looks.
Oh, I know. Well, you know, Gothic, I always think of gaudy too. It's a bit gaudy. It's the third largest parliament buildings in Europe apparently, or is it the second? Second to London, I think. London's parliament buildings. Isn't that neat? Wow.
Yeah, the cruise, we're moving. It's very, very calm. I'm not getting seasick.
You're not seasick? Good.
I'm okay. There's the flag, the Hungarian flag.
Oh, at the top of the
Red.
parliament buildings, yeah.
Red, white, and green.
Wow. No. Well, the water's pretty calm. River's certainly unlike an ocean cruiser. You could get sick, I guess, but not here.
Did you say we're on our way to Vienna?
Oh yeah, we're on our way to Vienna. We're going to go see Mozart and Strauss concert.
Vienna
Opera House.
Tomorrow.
We were lucky.
Night. Saturday night?
Yeah, Saturday night. And we were lucky we were able to get in on it. Some of them are filled. The Cologne Cathedral, we couldn't see that. But I did get my wine tasting in, what's the name of that place in Germany? Koblenz? Yeah.
Germany.
And the wine here in Hungary, it's very good. I've had it almost with every meal, red wine. But I know in Germany the white wine has got to be tasted too, the Rhine wine. I always like that. A nice distinctive taste. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Those cathedrals, those spires. Wow. Looks a bit like Notre Dame did.
Steeples.
Yeah, steeples.
So everything's so ornate.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
I know. Wow. Well, we're pulling away from Budapest.
A lot of cranes, a lot of rebuilding, fixing up old buildings.
Wow. Hey, we're coming to that yellow bridge. That's the yellow bridge, and when the other side is called the chain bridge, because it looks like chains on it. I'm not sure if they're just sculptured on there, but wow. Oh, we're leaving at a nice time in the evening.
So we're going to be dining tonight. Dinner starts at 7 o'clock. So we'll be dining while the boat's moving.
Oh yeah. All the rooms have windows everywhere. We had lunch today. Large windows all the way up. The whole wall is full of.
We have every evening before dinner they have a port talk which explains the next day's excursions and events. Also tonight. So first of all, yesterday was the first day where all the people from different destinations were all coming on board to start the trip. Very hectic yesterday with everyone coming in at different times. So tonight, everyone's on board, and the captain and the hotel manager, the boat manager, will give a little speech. Toast. We're all toasting with champagne, and to welcome everyone on board for our 2-week cruise.
And in almost every stop, like, first of all, the food is fantastic on this ship, but almost every stop they have a theme of the area that you're in. And last night, what did we have?
We had Hungarian goulash because we're in Hungary. It was the best I've ever had.
Oh boy, was that good!
Their creme brulee is to die for.
Oh yeah.
And their, what was the other one with the crusted? Oh, no, that's creme brulee.
That was a creme
What was the other
brulee.
one? Oh, the tiramisu.
Oh, did we have tiramisu? Get out! No, we didn't.
What
No,
did you have?
I don't know. That wasn't tiramisu.
Well, what was it?
I don't know.
That we shared.
It was some kind of Hungarian dessert, but not tiramisu. That's Italian. Yeah, no, I don't think. Too bad we're not going to Italy. No, but yeah, it's
I
apparently
think this is part of the what river?
Danube.
Danube, and it's one of the widest. Here's the bridge.
Oh, here it is. Oh, here's that bridge. Oh, a beautiful bridge.
There's the sculpture.
Hey, we're going right underneath it.
Angel here.
Yes, a lot of Gabriel angels here in this area. Oh, isn't that neat? Going right under the yellow bridge. They call it the yellow bridge because, well, it is kind of painted yellow, but it looks more like greenish yellow to me. But wow, isn't that neat? Yeah. That is it.
There.
What?
Building.
Sam's? Oh yeah. Oh,
This looks like a lot of tour boats
oh yeah.
all lined up here.
Well, there's LG over there on the bridge too. A lot of international companies here. Oh yeah. Wow, this must be an expensive place to have along the river here.
But this is one of the widest.
Widest parts of the Danube, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently the Danube is the second largest river in Europe. Maybe the Rhine is the biggest, the longest, I guess. And then what are the other one we're on? The Main? It's called the Main?
Maine and then Danube together.
Yeah.
We run into each other.
Okay. We're still coming out of Budapest, I guess. Yeah, quite a road right along the river here.
Gee, that looks like a bus in the water. Look at that yellow. Looks like a bus from here in the water. You see it?
Where?
Right there. The yellow.
Oh
looks
yeah,
Like a bus.
yeah, yeah. It does. Huh? We're catching up to it. Yeah. What? Yeah. That's weird. Wonder if it's a public transport across the river. Huh. Well, I think the weather will be predicted to be pretty good for our trip. Maybe it's cooler than today. It was 30. How was the temperature? Almost 40?
It's 32 today.
32 today. Yeah, I don't know what that yellow bus is. Looks like a yellow bus in the water. Huh. Goodbye, Budapest. I don't know if I'll ever be back here. But it was a fairly friendly interesting city. I think I could come back here again. Maybe come from Amsterdam to Budapest and stay in Budapest before I fly out back home. That would be a good trip. No, I don't know. I know, that's weird, eh? What's it say? River?
River ride.
River ride, yeah. That's pretty unique.
Land and water. Land and
Oh, maybe it also
read it.
runs on the road.
Land and water. Sightseeing on land and water.
Wow, that's pretty unique. That's pretty good. Thanks. Huh. Does certainly look like a bus in the water.
Hey, look at that. It looks like a dome. Dome boat. Is it a dome on the boat? Right there.
Where?
Looks like a dome.
Oh, that round one.
Yeah.
Round, yeah. It looks like a big gazebo or something. Yeah, that's neat. Wow. Or maybe, I bet you there's lots of restaurants and cafes along here. That looks like it maybe a permanently docked
Yeah.
cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything to be. Oh, look at the solar panels on it too. Sure wouldn't want to fall off this balcony. Wow.
Mona Lisa. That boat, the last boat.
Oh yeah.
It says Mona Lisa.
I think we're getting down into them out of the city a bit now. Very nice. Very nice. What's the temperature now, do you think?
Oh, it's a nice temperature now.
I know, it's perfect here.
Probably 26.
Well, you know, standing on the dock or on the veranda here, it is so smooth. I guess that's what these river boats, cruises are all about. Just relaxing and letting the world come to you a bit. Let Europe come to you. This is the grand European tour that we're on. Yeah, we picked a good time. The weather here, I think, is supposed to be fantastic.
We're also going to be going through some locks. Quite a few.
Oh yeah. I don't think
lock systems.
they don't say too much about the locks because that might be the boring
Yeah.
part of the trip. But hey, the food compensates for a lot. Unbelievably, I thought the CN or Via Rail had good meals, but this place excels at that. Oh yeah, there's one coming out, pulling up. Yeah, I can't say enough about the excellent food. Well, who knows? We've just had the first day or so, but if it's like anything else, like the rest, boy, it's going to be great. They don't give you big servings of foods, but they're made well, like really good. Must have excellent chefs.
Yeah, the chef is excellent. He
Oh.
comes out and greets people, talks to you.
Yeah. Very personable, and I'm sure every ship has a chef like that. Every one of their Viking ships. What a job to land on one of these things. We were joking with the girl at lunch. I said, "What do you do for vacation?" She goes all the way to Amsterdam and then back. Then they turn around and goes back. I guess they might get bored of it after a while, but boy, what a gig that is.
Yeah, this runs between March and November.
Oh yeah, it's not all year, right?
The Viking boats, cruises.
Yeah. And this is our home away from home for the next 14 days or so. And with the curtains open, you can see our little deck out there, and it's quite a nice room, and very nice view of the river from here. Yeah. No complaints. We're in Venice, or no, Venice, not Venice. Vienna. We just had apple strudel.
I'm not a.
So it's 5 o'clock. Didn't you say there was docking at 7? 7.
Yes, sir.
I didn't hear that. I heard
It was in the news.
Yeah.
The news.
10 and 15. So raining, I guess maybe. Yeah, but
And later on, gets off the bus and walk a very short walk. Yeah, much shorter than Group D does. So approximately only 20 minutes of walk for L group. Yeah? And then we both groups will have a break time by the cathedral, approximately 1 hour break time. During the break time, you'll be able to go and look for souvenirs. You can get to the coffee place, have a coffee, and of course get to the restrooms, or combine both the coffee place and the restrooms, and then ask us all kinds of questions. So, and after the break, we'll get together again and we'll walk a very, very short walk to the bus, back to the bus, and we'll return back to the ship. Placed in the form of a curl, and only one district is located on the opposite bank of the river, Negetov. And you can ask me a question now, how come Austria is a landlocked country and their monument to an admiral, but we've been a marine empire for quite a long period of time. In the 19th century there was an access to the sea here, and our main port was the city of Trieste. Now the Italian port, when the empire collapsed, we lost our seaports, and now we are a landlocked country and we have only the river ports. But there were battles, of course, very important battles during the 19th century, and Admiral Tegetov managed to win several important battles. So the monument to our former marine glory inside. And this house is connected with Johann Strauss. Johann Strauss, the king of waltzes. I'm absolutely sure that this name is familiar to you, or probably there are some fans who really admire his music. So this person had made an excellent career, musical career here. So in the second part of the 19th century, he wrote a great number of waltzes, and waltz became the dance #1, so popular as probably rock and roll in the 60s was, and the people were really crazy about dancing waltzes, and Johann Strauss wrote a great number of waltzes. One of the most famous, probably you know it, the Blue Danube. So, and Johann Strauss moved to this house after his first marriage with Henriette Holopadsky. That was his really very happy marriage. So, but unfortunately, she died earlier, and he lived in this house only for 14 years. What we do have now in this house, we have his museum. And those of you who are fans of Johann Strauss, I do recommend you to visit this museum. Quite a number of personal belongings you'll see there. So photographs, pictures, of course, musical instruments, So everything what is connected with Johann Strauss. And later on today we'll see a monument, a very, very famous monument dedicated to Johann Strauss. Soldiers of different regiments. In front of the building, the monument to Field Marshal Radetzky, military commando who was very active during the second part of the 19th century. They called him the right hand of Francis Joseph, the emperor, who ruled during this time. So, and that was the former Ministry of War. Another building on your left-hand side, this red brick building with a beautiful decoration in the middle. You see the mosaic of Pallas Athena, goddess of justice. So, and this is our Museum of Applied Arts. We have a great collection here, collection of the objects of Art Nouveau style. So, there were ateliers, Wiener Werkstätte, which produce the objects of everyday life. So, but they were of really very high artistic quality. Though the ateliers got bankrupt very soon, we managed to preserve the collection of this object. And if you are a fan of the style Art Nouveau, it's your museum. Now we are moving along the park, and this park we call as simple as the City Park. If you walk through the park, you'll find great number of monuments dedicated mostly to our artists, painters, sculptors, musicians, but probably one of the most famous monument here is the monument to Johann Strauss. Again, Johann Strauss, because he was so popular, extremely popular. And now when we start moving from the traffic light, you'll be looking to your left side and you'll see the gap between the greenery. So look through this gap and you'll see white marble arch, and in the middle the gilded figure with a violin, and that's of course Johann Strauss. So probably it wouldn't be fair to talk about only Johann Strauss, because he came from a dynasty, musical dynasty. So, and a couple of words about other people who belong to the family. But first we'll see the monument. So we're moving very, very slowly, letting the tram get by. So, and now at this very moment, at the back of the park, you see it. Yeah. It was the whole family of musicians. So first we start with Johann Strauss, the father. That's a confusion because the father and the son, the elder son, had the same name. So then the elder son Johann Strauss, and then two more brothers, Joseph and Edward, and they were all involved in the family music business. But probably the most famous was really the Johann Strauss, the eldest son. Now at this very point, if you look to both sides of the street, you'll see beautiful buildings. They were palaces, private palaces, because only very rich people could afford themselves to construct such buildings. Because the address, the Ring Street, was probably the most prestige address in the city. So later on, many of the buildings were altered into hotels. So one of this perfect example is the hotel, which you can see now in the front window, but then it would stay on our right hand side. So Hotel Imperial. Look at this huge building. Now straight ahead, you see the name of the hotel on the facade. So it was constructed as a private house, but then altered into a VIP hotel. And the list of VIP people is incredible. Everybody stayed here at least once or twice. President Kennedy, so the Queen Elizabeth, all pop stars and rock stars also stayed in this hotel. Now, as you've probably noticed, we left the ring. We are on the square, which is dedicated to military commander Schwarzenberg. So the Feldmarshal Schwarzenberg. This name could be familiar to you if you know very well the Napoleonic Wars, because this commander was the commander of the coalition troops during the battle by Leipzig, 1813, and managed to defeat Napoleon. So, and his monument we've seen on the square. Now, on your left-hand side, behind the modern building, you see the church, fantastic church with green dome, beautiful decoration, real Baroque style. So this is the church of Charles Borromeus, constructed here at the very beginning of the 18th century after the epidemics of plague, so to commemorate the end of the terrible epidemics. So, and on the right hand side, exactly now at the point our bus is standing, you see the terracotta beige colored building. And this is the main seat of our famous Philharmonic Orchestra, Vienna Philharmonics. Probably to some of you is familiar if you're watching the concert, very famous concert of the 1st of January. So from the main hall of this building, Golden Hall of Vienna Philharmonics. On the left-hand side, now small pavilions close to us, small white pavilions with floral decoration, with green roof. These beautiful pavilions were the entrances to the first underground stations. The first underground lines were constructed here at the very end of the 19th century. The problem was that the city was growing rapidly during this time, by the end of the century, and it was a necessity to somehow to introduce the modern types of transport. And so one of the very talented architects was commissioned with this project. His name was Otto Wagner. Otto Wagner. So do not confuse him with the famous composer Richard Wagner, because Wagner is a very famous name here. So he constructed the first two lines of the underground. Then unfortunately there was a break by the war, First World War, and they continued the construction of the lines only much later. But Otto Wagner understood that at that time the city was changing its look, and he introduced the new style, again this very famous style, Art Nouveau, and the first pavilions were all constructed in the same cooperative style, so to say. And the majority of these pavilions are still preserved here in the city. They were not that badly destroyed, so we have them.
Paulette?
So, and now, dear ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to return to the ring. We just made a kind of a loop here to see the attractions on the parallel street, and we'll be returning to the ring back again. And probably the first building we'll see on the ring right away, so would be the most famous building on the ring. And I'm talking now about the Vienna State Opera House. Vienna was considered to be the center of European music for many, many centuries. Composers were eager to come to Vienna to start their career, and of course there were many musical theaters here in the city. But middle of the 19th century, Emperor Francis Joseph wanted to have a more modern theater, probably more luxury theater with better acoustics, and he commissioned the construction of this theater. And there was a competition among the architects to get this project. And finally they constructed it. And now you see the building in the front window. It would stay on our right hand side. Look at it, how huge the building is. The main loggia faces the ring, and you see the sculptural figures which represent different kinds of arts. So the building is constructed in the style of new Renaissance, neo-Renaissance. It's a kind of copy of the Renaissance because, of course, it was constructed only in the second part of the 19th century. We're talking about the theater, not about the building. It has the biggest repertoire in the world, approximately 60 performances per year. That's quite enough. So now on our right-hand side, a monument to a famous German poet Goethe. Goethe had never ever visited Vienna, but it so happened that in the 19th century we had a huge club of admirers of Goethe, and they collected their own money to put the monument here. Another monument in the open gate of the park, and this is the monument to one of our most famous composers, of course, Mozart. And let me remind you, dear ladies and gentlemen, that Mozart was born in Salzburg. He spent his 25 years in Salzburg, and then he moved to Vienna and spent his 10 last years in Vienna, writing most of his, probably the most famous pieces of music during these 10 years. And of course he died in Vienna too, and so the city really needed to commemorate his memory. So now behind the fence on your right hand side you already see a huge building, and this is the part of Imperial Palace, former Imperial Palace, the place, the seat of the Habsburg family. It consists of many wings, all of them adjusted together. So, and we'll see partially this beautiful ensemble today. On your left-hand side, two similar buildings which also resemble their palaces, but they were constructed to become museums. And we have two very interesting museums here. The Museum of Fine Arts and the Museum of Natural History. So, on your right-hand side, small park again. And this is the Volksgarten, our famous Volksgarten with great number of roses, all in blossom now. And on the opposite side of the street, on the left-hand side, probably the most elegant building on the ring. At least I consider it to be the most elegant. And look at it now. It's the building of the Parliament. Look at the details. We have the Palace Athene, this statue in front of it, holding the statuette Nike, the goddess of victory. On the roof of this building are sculptural figures, philosophers and politicians of the antique Greece, Quadrigas on top of this building. And so you can see quite a number of Greek elements here in this building. And it's not a coincidence because the author of this project, whose name was Theophil Hansen, who made an excellent career here, architectural career, he lived in Greece for quite a long period of time, and he studied Greek styles, antique Greek style, and he wanted to implement the idea that Greece was the cradle of democracy. Democracy was born in Greece. Yeah. So now we are leaving the ring again. So the group L will return later to the ring. Now we'll just circle the building of the Parliament. And what do we have on our right-hand side? A small park, and behind the park you already see the glimpse of High Tower. And at this very moment, look to the right, very quickly, to the right. Yeah. What you see looks like probably a Gothic cathedral, but it is not. It is the City Hall of Vienna. So, the seat of our mayor. Yeah. So, such a luxury office of the mayor. But the architect of this building, he just continued the tradition. The tradition was in Europe to construct town halls, and normally this was the 14th, 15th century, to construct the buildings of the city halls in the style of Gothic. Yeah? And as this building was constructed only in the second part of the 19th century, it is the new Gothic style. And now, last but not least, the building on our right-hand side, we call it the Palace of Justice. Look at the beautiful lions flanking the entrance. And this is the seat of the Supreme Court here in this building. So now, dear ladies and gentlemen, we are coming closer to the point where we need to get off the bus. At least one group, my group, Group D. So, but I hope it would be not that strong, the rain. Yeah, but we all have umbrellas. I hope that you do have umbrellas with you, so we managed to get through the rain. Of course, those of you who prefer to stay and just get with the L group, you can stay on bus. Yeah. So, please prepare your personal devices, and I'll tell you my channel. Channel number 14. Channel number 14. Group D, once again. Group L stays on the bus, yeah. And you'll continue.
I got it. Here, right.
Please follow me. Yeah. There is no.
lady to power because the original law was to use the power along the male line. But her father already had a problem because he had 2 girls and the boys died as children. So he changed the rules, he wrote pragmatic sanction, and according to this pragmatic sanction, finally it was possible to give the power along the female line. And she gained the power at the age of 23. Now my question to you, what's now 23? 23 to my mind is a teenage now. So, but at her period of time, 23 was already, she was a mature woman, ready to rule the country. And she had a very tough test at the very beginning of her ruling period. It was a war. It was a 7-year war against Friedrich. And Friedrich was a very strong ruler from the northern part of Germany. So Germany was not united at that time. So he was from the north of Germany. She managed not to lose her original lands. And Friedrich wrote a very interesting thing in his diary. He wrote the following thing: finally, there is a man among possible families. And this man is a woman. Yeah. That was a kind of compliment to her strong character. So, what she managed to do, not to lose her original land, and she managed also to consolidate power during her 40 years of ruling. And somehow know that tourists know how we change life. You know that? 16 children. She gave birth to 16 children. Yeah. As for me, I took the monument only for that. And 11 from his 16 managed to reach the grown-up age. And one daughter of hers, you know for sure. The name of this daughter here was Maria Antonia. And you know her daughter. And thanks God that mother didn't have to survive to the terrible time of the execution of her daughter in course of the French Revolution. She died earlier. So, and if you want to find some interesting details about these 2 ladies, you need to find the correspondence. The correspondence did exist, yeah? And then you'll find all these interesting things about this. So now, leaving this here, once again about the buildings. To remind you, I've told you have done this is a museum of fine arts, okay? And we have really a very nice collection. Stationed as Rubens, Velasquez, people like the elder in this museum. Another one, this is a museum of natural history. Sometimes we call it stones and bones. Yeah, but we have the best collection of minerals here in this museum, best European collection. So if you have time, this book yours, you know, or how to use your time in the second part of the now here it is. We're crossing the river. We're crossing the river. We're getting to the opposite side. Good luck. Not stay here. That was the map. So part of the group here, part here. So yeah. Now let's go. Structure, which is called the Triumph Arch, which structures were made normally after the victories, after military victories. But the notice is to understand what victory did they have here. So we need to read what's written about Francisco I, Emperor of Austria, and then you see the Roman figure. Can we make the Roman figure together? I'll help you. Don't worry. So here, about, yeah. M stands for 1,000. Exactly. D stands for 500, C 100, and then it's easier. X is 10, and the last figure is 4. So altogether would be 1824. 1824. That's the figure using, it isn't connected with the real battle. No, really not. Because the decisive battle was 1813. Napoleon, and later on they constructed below you see the black Roman figure. This is already practically more times. 1916, because in the 1916, that is the period of the First World War, we added here the memorial for the perished soldiers, of their Imperial Army. It's a combination. And this Triumph Arch separates the boulevard, the ring, from the square. Now we are facing the square already, and the name of the square is the Hero Square. So now, all the places are already taken by the tourists, so we have nobody to stay underneath, but we'll get to the center of the square. The chronological order, because what you see 3 parts of the building here. Can you see the 3 parts, 3 different parts, yeah? Look at it. So, the first one, we'll start from here, this one, the light green color. This is the oldest part, constructed at the end of the 17th century. Then, the small part on the right side, it's only a small part with the flags now at the corner. So, this is the 18th century. And finally, we added this huge part, only the very end of the 19th century. Yeah? This is the chronological order, though probably to some of you that looks older than that one. No. So the parts of the building were used as living places, so apartments, that were the royal apartments here. But if we compare this building, with the smaller one, we see the difference. The windows, look, here we have smaller windows, and so here's definitely the apartments, the enfilade of rooms. But in this very building, we have huge windows, and this is the ballrooms. Yeah, the ballrooms. Okay, so 18th. And then finally, this huge one. Where did you need this one? This one only the representative part of the palace. The entire of this one, the peak of its development, the absolute top. You need a mind, of course. Yeah, maybe take a mind. That big probably one station of the population of the empire by the very end of the 19th century. It counted 53 in comparison to nowadays. Remember how many? 9 million only. Yeah, we have now in Austria. But at the time it was multinational. It was part of Hungary, part of Bohemia, Croatia, Slovenia. That were all national parts. So, and of course, in form of taxes, the imperial family got the money from these parts, and they could afford such a construction. But what's interesting, to my mind, it's really amazing that their plan was much bigger than that. So they had an absolutely ambitious plan. And the plan was, we know it for sure because we have the plans left, architectural plans left. And if you now turn here, look to there, look backwards, yeah? You see absolutely symmetrical buildings on the square. And I will tell you that these buildings were part. They were part of the project. And the project has been finished. So what did they meant to continue? Exactly. This same part like this here on this free space. Now, I think the umbrellas prevent us from the good view. You can imagine this second part like this on this free space. We should be symmetrical. We could manage to finish this part with inside decoration exactly in 1913 before the war. This was the war continue after World War I. It was inside the Republic was continuing, and the Republican government had never thought of investing such money. And so we have it left as you can see now, and probably for the better, because look, if we put here in our mind the second part of this spare place, yeah, will block the view and the very beautiful building on their city hall. And your question now could be, and what do we have in all these buildings now? Yeah, different things, absolutely different. You start again with this one. So now you can even you cannot see what kind of flags we have on top of this, yeah, because they are also wet, yeah. So we have national flag on top of this building, red, white, red. It's a national flag. And we have the office of our president. The president sits in this building. Then the building to the left from this green one is the seat of our chancellor. So, chancellor, who is the chancellor? Chancellor, we can say prime minister. And then we also have the parliament. So all in all, we have parliamentary republic, not the presidential. Makes a difference, yeah. Because in the presidential republic, who has the biggest powers? The president. In here, our president has only the kind of representative power and balancing power. Yeah. So then, the next part, this one, with the flags. We have here an international organization. The name of this organization is OSCE. Organization of Scientific Cooperation. And this huge place, the House of Records, this is used for the collection. There are so many collections in Vienna that we will at least 14 weeks to visit all of them. Yeah. So I'll read only the most interesting, the collection of all musical instruments and the collection of armory, the ammunition of all these 60s. Behind the monument, yeah? You can see the high balcony in here, and quarantine now our big balcony. And this balcony, if I tell you the year, you understand what I'm talking about. The year is 1938. And on the 13th of March 1938, there is a person who is standing on this balcony and the square is full of people. 250,000 people gathered on the square. Now you can pretend that the whole people standing here looking at it. And other people, young other people are always in the street. And you know what? This guy, Latin was born in Moscow, in the city of Lenin, and was a very young person. He wanted to have a career on the street. He tried to enter the government finance. I wonder if the people will definitely undertake the religion. Because then, he left his idea, he moved to Germany and started his political career. And so he reached his career is properly by the year of 1953. He became the Socialist National Party. And then in 1948, he wants to realize his plan to unite the two nations, Germany and Austria. And so he's here, standing in Budapest. And the people welcome him. That's important. He managed to find an absolutely right time for this project, because at that time it was a coincidence of things. So on one side it was very deep, but it was not only that. was the same time picked up that the people were very, very satisfied with the results of the and so, no matter what it was, and people believe and people believe in it. So, after a certain period of time, people understood that something was going wrong. By this time, it was working too late. So, we probably need to learn other mistakes of and if you want to see the documentary, you can find it. This is no, we are only going inside the yard. So look, we are getting under the small arches. Restrooms. There would be a restroom on the square, but you need 60 cents. It's a public toilet, but it's not. Oh, look, you can do that for 60 euro cents. But they take all kinds of coins, notes, and even the credit cards. Yeah. If you really need it badly, because we normally plan the that one in the square. We'll get to the square and I'll show you where it is. Now, getting inside the hobby. The whole complex is called hobby. Please translate the name. This we can because hob means the yard and wood means the fortress. And that brings us to the idea that initially we constructed here a fortress. Military fortress. In the 14th century, and later on it was completely destroyed. Because in several centuries, it continued to become our so you can read some names of parts, the wings. Leopoldinche Platz is the name of this building. With the tower now, open here, this is the 6th century. Then the left building, so this is the 17th century, and finally this one, the 18th century. Now, sorry, who needed this bathroom so badly? Please, the lady asked me, where is she?
It wasn't me, but I want to go as well.
So, look, but these here ladies try to be really very quick because they're not stopping here. So the open gate, the open door here, you see the signs, yeah? Straight ahead. So yes, now you can see it. Yes, thank you so much. So I'll give you what I have, everything I have. Yeah, and then it's don't avoid your problem directly, it's very strict with these devices. Yeah. So, and now have a look at the place. Now, all again adjusted together. We know the chronological order. And we see the monument here. Monument in Antwerp. I understand it's so difficult to remember all of these. Combined with the people to the events, the most important events. This person is absolutely directly connected with Napoleon's rules, yeah? Because he's actually the winner of Napoleon. Yeah? He was the ruler of the event which happened right after the victory of Napoleon. It was the Congress, Vienna Congress. The Vienna Congress happened in 1814, 1815. So kind of very modern times. Days, not more. J7, for example. They get together 3 days and they're gone. But this similar meeting will be even more important. And they stay together for nearly a year. Yeah. What had happened during this Congress, this meeting? There was one very important person, and he was asked, how is the Congress doing? It has already, sorry, I forgot my things. Yes. He was asked, how is the Congress doing? And he answered, the Congress dances but stands still, and we understand what was happening here. They were having a great time. They were having balls, parties, while Napoleon was doing what during that time? Napoleon, being defeated in 1813, was sent to the island of Elba first, and had a great freedom of movement there. And he collected the rest of his troops while the people were having great fun here, and knocked at the door again. And these people broke down in panic here, the participants of the Congress. And what happened next? The final Waterloo. In 1815, Napoleon is defeated again and sent to his final destination, the island of St. Helena, where he died. But look again at all these buildings. At that time, and the buildings hasn't been changed since that time. Exactly. He was the host, and he needed to move out from here in order to give space for the invited people here. So it happened exactly. And the borders of Europe were changed dramatically during that time, and they were preserved till the beginning of the war. You want to know which kind of acquirements falls up in the land pieces. Austrian Empire got a very nice part of northern Italy, a part of the part of the Empire at the time after this Vienna Congress. Okay, now we'll be moving further back. Go back.
It can only take €1 coin.
Another here now, there is Starbucks on our route. And Starbucks. Sorry guys, I'm starting. I think I'm happy with all the people that just will try our luck. And you know what it is? It would be very similar. With the wind and the chairs. I'm trying to wait. Look at these two statues here. Second, if you look at the sculptural figure on the right hand side, you see a person with a stick, strong. What he needed, perhaps what he needed to represent their power, their strength. The empire was so powerful. And he chose their absolutely adequate subject from the antique history, the deeds of purpose. So, because if they wanted to demonstrate something else, they would have chosen probably other historical figures, but and we'll see that all on the opposite side of this. So, go ahead. Sissi is our the full name was Elizabeth of Bavaria, and she was the wife of Francis Joseph, the ruler. So actually, she was more known as the beauty, fantastic beauty of the royal courts of Europe.
Dove mi da cercare?
Yeah, I saw it.
The carriage.
Yeah.
That would be a story of the beginning of their mutual life. Excellent, fantastic actress, Robin Schneider. Yeah, you can find it in the internet. It's an article. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Nice Starbucks.
To let us go through. So we are on the square, which is called St. Michael's Square. You see the church, this white church, this is St. Michael's Church. The church is quite old, founded in the 13th century, but altered so many times. There are different parts of architecture here. Yeah, and probably the most interesting about this church, in my mind, is that what we know about it. That here it was And who was responsible for the construction of that part? It was Francis Joseph, who was ruling during the whole second part of the 19th century. His initials you can find on the gate exactly, so Francis Joseph. And what else? What else can we see here? Of course, the part of armor of the family here, and the year of construction. But we still have something interesting in the middle of the square. If you turn around, we'll come closer to it, and we'll have a look at it. But please mind that these steps here, getting down. Excavation site. What did they find here? What did they open here? Have a look at it. So there are many parts here. Yeah. But what's probably the most interesting is the rest of the Roman walls. So we know that Roman Empire, real Romans, stayed here. They stayed here from the 1st century till the middle of the 5th century, till practically the collapse of Roman Empire. Now, what were they doing here? They were protecting their own empire, nothing else. And so they put their military camp along the river, and the name of it, we know the name of the camp, yeah. The name of the camp sounds very strange, Vindobana, such a long name, and we do not really know how exactly to translate it, but there is a nice theory telling us that probably from this long Vindobana we got a short name, Wien, W-I-E-N. If you look at this building, you'll see it, W-I-E-N, and this is the real name of our city, the German name of the city. Because we do not call the city Vienna, we call it yeah. So, and who knows, probably it was derivated from this part of the Roman camp. We cannot prove this theory, but either we cannot deny it. So take it or leave it. No. Okay, now to continue.
I have to stay close to her so I can hear it.
Yep. on the left side. It's a Poseidon, the god of the seas, or Neptune if you prefer, yeah? And look how the sculptor made the body of this Neptune. He was absolutely sure the admirer of Michelangelo, yeah, because the body just looks like the bodies of the figures of Michelangelo, yeah. And look, the Habsburg family wanted to specify this fact that they were also a marine empire, though they, in comparison to Great Britain, they had only one main port. They had Atlantic port, of course, yeah, and they still wanted to glorify their marine story. Yeah. On the opposite side, you also see from the distance on the opposite side fountain, and this is the power on land, the power on the sea, and the power on land. Okay, we continue getting very competitive, and I hope we'll find some ways here. Normally we have so many crowds of tourists here, because all of them want to see our famous horses. And a couple of facts about the history of the horse. So it all goes back to the end of the 16th century, when they decided to bring a new kind of horse. They had horses more maneuverable, more intelligent, and they all needed that for military actions. So was the reason for breeding them, but they did it. They did it, and they mixed three blood: Arabic, Andalusian, and Neapolitan. And what they got as a result of this mixture was an absolute wonder, because these horses were very intelligent. They could follow the movements, they could be trained easily. Yeah? And they continued breeding them. So now here we are. Now we can probably our big groups. You'll start the advertising movie here, so you'll see how the manege looks here. Here you see the performance. Yeah, where do they have the performances? Because here we have only a stable. Yeah, performances is on the opposite side of the building, so the whole looks like you can see here. They'll start over. Yeah. So, and here this whole building is actually the end of the 16th century. Yeah. Also, the part of the palace. We lived on the upper story, but here they always had horses. Yeah. Where do they breed the horses? They breed them not here, not in Vienna. Yeah. It's Slovenia, exactly. Yeah. The place is called, you've probably been there, so the place is called Lipica. Lipica came from Slovenia. They first breeded them there, but now they're doing it 200 kilometers away from Vienna in the place of Piba. And they, when they are born, at the age of 3, they select them. They bring only the most talented here to school, and they train them. How long does the training take? How many years? 9 years. 9 years. Incredible. 9 years to be fully trained. Of course, it's selected first, yeah? That means that only the most talented come to school. What happens with the rest of them? What do you think? They sell them. You can buy them if you want. Yeah, really. Just look at the internet side of this place. Yeah, you'll find the offers. Yeah, and believe me, I expected to see much higher prices. Yeah. And if you're really interested in the way how they do it, how they train them,
you need to go to a special tour, which is called Behind the Stage. Then we go inside, and the people who are working here, they tell you all the details concerning the horses. I understand it's really very exciting for those of you who love horses. Yeah. Okay, so now we continue, just a little over the here.
Also 73
What's your umbrella?
Well, as long as I keep it high.
I started previously. You can see, there is an entrance directly inside the building on the left-hand side.
I understand, yeah. And what to do? We need to take the photo. Take the photo and join us. So, on the right-hand side, see a special photo. Have a look at the small photo. Oh, so it's too small, but this one with one place. So, what you see here? See here? Dancing school. Dancing school. The name of the dancing school is Elmar. We need to have many dancing schools in Vienna because we have a very old tradition, the tradition of the balls. The balls take place here during the carnival season. Normally it's February, yeah? And so the balls take place practically one ball is in Coburg, one ball is in the City Hall, another ball is in the Vienna Opera House. In order to be able to take part in balls, you need to know how to dance. And now a very tricky question for you. What is the opening dance of the ball? Waltz, you say. But you know what? I expected this answer. Waltzes. We do dance waltzes, but afterwards a little bit, the opening dance is Polonaise. Polonaise looks like a kind of minuet. So, and in order to be able to dance it, you need to learn it how to dance. So, because they have special movements, really very special. And so, this school is preparing the people for the balls. Yeah, probably one of the most famous balls is their opera ball. Yeah. And the young people who are opening the ball are called debutants. Okay? The debutants are supposed to go to rehearsal here to train this audience. St. Michael's Church. Oh, the majority of the buildings go back to the 18th century. 18th century. So, and we have absolutely fantastic shops here. Probably it's good that they are closed today. We have Sunday today. So, yeah. These buildings, exactly not. But you probably I haven't mentioned it to you. The biggest loss during the war. The question was, were these buildings damaged during the war? Here, nothing was damaged here, but the opera house was badly damaged, badly. We got the direct
bombing of the house, unfortunately. They reconstructed it. What you see now is an absolute reconstruction. So, but here, the 18th century, there were palaces. The rich people could afford such building. And what's interesting, some details, yeah, Baroque style. Yeah. And during this Baroque period of time, the 18th century, it was a tradition to decorate the buildings, normally above the entrance, with the protection, with a kind of protection. What kind of protection could they have, what do you think? They help for you. They were all religious. They were all, the majority of them were Catholics, yeah? So what kind of things could they have as a protection? Very simple. Madonnas, Madonna and Child. And you'll find one here. But you know what? Not too many were preserved. If you get to Italy, you'll find in practically every second house a Madonna and a Child, so above the entrance or at the corner of the house. Here we have it preserved only in one house. Here, the left-hand side is beautifully decorated. This one, Baroque side, we'll see it very soon. Though they altered the basement floor, and now here is a restaurant. So, but the Madonna is here above here. And this is really the absolute Baroque style. Look at the open windows. Partially we have flats here. Not all of them are flats. The absolute majority are offices, but still the first district is so a living district too. Yeah. We also have here the classic shoe store. What about shoes? Here it is. Yeah. How about to buy shoes? Yes. Yeah. We have a very special store here on the left-hand side. Yeah, and we'll come closer and we'll see the sign of this store. Of course, there are so many stores, but this is a very special because for generations it was the store which delivered their goods, their products to the emperor. So high status. Yeah. And the name of this place is Rudolf Scheer. Rudolf Scheer is, of course, a family name. Yeah? Rudolf Scheer and sons. And that stands two letters, K and K. What does that stand for? That stands for Kaiser and König, so king and emperor. Yeah. Yeah. And we have a beautiful coat of armor, finally. The imperial coat of armor, double-headed eagle. That is the symbol of Austrian-Hungarian monarchy. And then below, you see even the motto of one of the emperors. And it sounds Viribus Unitis. We can really easily translate it as with united efforts from Latin. Yeah. Yeah, every emperor, there was a tradition, chose his own motto. Yeah. And Francis Joseph preferred to have this one. They are so proud of their products. Look, here we have the medals. So this is the awards of the World International Exhibition. There was a tradition to have international exhibitions. There was the tradition started in the middle of the 19th century. One was in London, one was in Paris, in Chicago, and Vienna has the same exhibition in 1873. And here we have this awards of this store. Yeah, they represent their goods at this store, and we have it. We are lucky that it is closed now, so we can go right to pick up the title of the name. I know what it is. Find similar signs by other stores, but all these stores should be the former deliverers of the royal court. It could be the coffee houses, yeah? They also have that. Some jewelry stores also, yeah? But of course you can understand, not all of the stores were the deliverers of royal court. Kaiser and König. Kaiser and König. In German. Kaiser means the emperor. Okay. Yeah. And König means the king. Yes, I knew that. Yeah. Yeah. And your family name was King. From Brenda. Look at the details. Of course,
stay here besides when the group get by and go closer to the monument.
Hold that.
Because here. Who was ruling at the time, again, the Habsburg, of course, his name was Leopold. He ran away from the city first one day the epidemics broke out, but it was clever to run away. After that, the disease, so then he returned when the epidemic was over and commissioned this monument. And he put himself in the middle. You see him standing on his knees. And now we have a light. So let me see. We need to think like they were. So, and you remember they were all religious, so all Catholics. Then below we see the lady with the cross, and this is the symbol of faith. Yeah? Only if you believe you can overcome such a difficulty. So that was the way they thought. And by the feet of this lady with the cross, we see an ugly figure here. Yeah? And there's a small angel. And this angel pushes this creature with a torch. Yeah, it's a torch. The fire, with a fire. And now look at this figure. Come closer a little bit. Don't be afraid. We won't be attacked by it. Yeah. What does that mean? Very simple. Very simple. You don't need to think complicated. So it is the plague itself. It's the defeat of the plague. Yeah. So, and it is really ugly. Look at it. Yeah. So, such an ugly creature. Look. You see that it is an ugly lady. And why not an ugly man? You can put an ugly man. But they
What?
preferred an ugly man.
Yeah, this is not good.
It started again.
Put it up.
These people at the time, 17th century, they didn't need to think. They knew for sure it should be an ugly woman because the evil comes from a woman. They thought like that. According to the old biblical stories, remember Eve. Yeah. Okay. So now we do not agree with this theory, but they did. And finally, if we go above the emperor, emperors here, you see their clouds, and there are angels in the clouds. And the final top thing is this gilded part, and here we have the dove in the shine. And dove in the shine is a symbol of the Holy Spirit. So that all means this pyramid structure is the God structure. And look, the emperor put himself under the god, the first under god. Yeah, very, very correct. So, yeah. And so it is really complicated to understand, but with all these details, definition, you understand it better. And finally, again, coats of armor. On the left-hand side, again, double-headed eagle, empire. Here in the middle, the bigger one is Hungary. This Hungary is very important. And behind, there's a third one behind, and that would be Bohemia. Because Bohemia, now part of Czech Republic, was also part of the empire. So all that we have under the same roof. With the smaller, if you look at the smaller coats of armor, there will be other national parks. So, you know, houses go around the clock. So means
got the Reading Square, of course. All the squares. This is the look at the architecture. Beautiful, isn't that? All around. The majority of the buildings here are the 19th century. Now it's a later period of time. We've seen the 18th century. This is the 19th century. The majority of the buildings were very expensive, very expensive rent houses. Bourgeoisie family could make such a business. The house occupied normally one floor in this floor of Vienna Nobile. So, and the rest was rented, so they got quickly their money back. There are some exceptions. Look at the building on the right hand side. The last one, I'm talking about the last one on the right hand side. You see the huge dome on top of it, yeah? It's really very interestingly decorated. From all sides of the wooden dome, we see spreaded wings eagles. Can you see that? Yeah? You understand which house I'm talking about? This one, the green dome. And there is a boat on top of it. What does that all mean? Eagles, spreaded wings eagles, and the boat. Eagles are not Australian. They are American eagles. We have and the boat helps us to understand what more and more problems. And you know this place, probably some of you will be familiar. This is probably from New York. They could afford to construct such a building at the end of the 19th century. I think it was before Titanic. Absolute highlight of our something absolutely fantastic to my mind. Something exquisite. Yeah? And I'm talking about this thing, what is it? No. What is that? That is St. Stephen's Cathedral. We finally reached the south tower of the cathedral. Beautifully constructed. The spire. The spire is surrounded with smaller kind of spires. They're called pinions, yeah? 12 pin. Of course, everything has a numerological meaning. 12 is, of course, the number of the apostle. So, and the idea of Gothic. This is the Gothic style. And Gothic style has a very special meaning. The majority of the churches in Europe, Gothic churches, they had high towers. They needed a high tower because the idea was to reach the sky, to touch the sky. And here, this tower really reaches the sky. So, that, look at the material. What is that made of? What kind of stone? Sandstone, exactly. Because this stone, this is a granite. It's too hard to cut. But they needed to cut it. And look how they cut it. If you look at this south side of this side, we're coming from the south side, you'll see absolutely fantastic lace of stone. It looks like really a lace of stone. And here we also have some forms, very special forms. 3 leaves. Come a little bit closer from here, you'll see it better. 3 leaves, 4 leaves, and they're all mixed together, yeah? And they create this kind of a lace, yeah? 3 and 4 has also a numerological meaning. 3 is, of course, sacred figure, it's Trinity. 4 is a profane figure. 4 seasons of the year, 4 sides of the world. This is another meaning, but they're all mixed, like in the life, yeah. So, were held on on the wooden bulbs. And the fire just eliminated all wooden bulbs very easily. So they made a new roof, but they were clever enough to cover it exactly as it was before. It's the same pattern, yeah? Well, only with a new material. So
This is
yeah,
church.
you know,
What is it?
St. Francis or something?
also the
Ask her. Ask her what church.
here on this side, you can see Virgin Font. Get inside the cathedral, the altar part. You can see conscience. Probably, finally, the who is the second part? The name of the cathedral is
St. Stephen.
do you know who was St. Stephen? I'm not so sure you know him. But St. Stephen was the first martyr for teaching Christianity at the time where the Catholic Church was not a religion. The propaganda for Christianity. That was the Bible scriptures. The main altar get inside the church will find. Now we're coming to the corner where I'll show you the very nice architecture model. I'll give you a couple of details on the model, and then we'll be able to start the great, people just enjoy like children young. You can do it too during your and we'll look at some details. Just stand around it. Stand around this. And this would be our place where we'll meet so make a kind of a circle here. So with the umbrellas it's so difficult to do. But we'll manage. Look at this. The whole thing is with the Maßstab 1 to 100. And what we see from here, come close a little bit because you're not able to see all the details. You see the second tower. All of a sudden, this was finished by the middle of the 15th century, and they started the second one. So they reached approximately the middle of it. And what happened? The tower was falling. The tower was falling, yeah. So there was a mistake. The calculation mistake, yeah, because remember, they made it without computers, yeah, and it was a human factor, because the person who managed to accomplish that one, he was already dead. It's another person, and it happened, mistake, but the mistake was at the basement, so they didn't notice it. They noticed it only from this level. They tried several decades, and finally they decided to come on a compromise, and you see the compromise. They covered it with a hat. Yeah. And here you need the year 1513. Since that time, nothing has been changed here. So, yeah, here you have some different years. Yeah. On this side, it's 1950. Yeah, this is the reconstruction of the roof after the fire. They commemorated it. Yeah, and again, their symbols. Yeah, and here we have 1831 at the double-headed eagle. 1831 is the year of coming to power of another president, let's say, another emperor. Yeah, so they copied it. They copied it. And now probably your questions, yeah. If not, we start the break time and we'll get together. Is it okay to come here? Sure. You'll find it. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So after the break, we meet first the time. After the break, we'll meet here at 11:30. Now it's 10:25, 11:30. So hour is quite okay. Yeah? So what can you do during the break time? First of all, of course, you can get inside the cathedral. We are not allowed to come like this, like a group.
because it's a functional church. Yeah? So you can do it on your own if you are interested. The entrance is from here, that is from that side. That's the only entrance you find here. And you go first straight ahead, but then you'll see the bars straight ahead. You'll go by the left nave exactly here. This is free of charge. Yeah, you don't need to pay anything because the middle part is for a ticket. Yeah, but believe me, you can see quite a lot from this nave. Yeah, at least to have an idea what it looks from inside. Yeah, and if you come straight ahead to the bars first, between the bars you'll see a masterpiece. It would be the pulpit. How they cut the pulpit, we do not know. 2 blocks of sandstone, but the cut is so complicated and they cannot see the conjunctions. They think that probably they cut it from the whole block. It's incredible. Yeah. So, the possibility to visit the church. Then, if you need to, if you go to a coffee place, of course you can combine it with the restaurants. But if you do not need any coffee places or bars, go downstairs to the underground station. That would be the nearest toilet, so public toilets. Here the people are coming up behind this bar, and you are getting down on the left hand side. But again, the problem is the same, 60 cents. That's why I really recommend you to combine it with a coffee place. Now there you can get for free, of course. Yeah? But only if you do not want to go to a coffee place, you go downstairs to this place. Yeah? So, more questions. If you need the plans for some of you who would not to, who is not coming back with us, with a group who is staying in the city, so I can give you the plans of the underground and explain how to use them. Yes, please.
Are there any of the beautiful coffee houses nearby
Yes,
here?
yes. Now, please come out of this because it's blocking the view. Very nice. Not that far from this place. You saw along the street, there is a street between Equitable and this house. There will be a long street. You start walking, and on the left-hand side, there would be very soon there would be a name of Sluka, S-L-U-K-A, red sign. So this is the traditional coffee place, and very big inside. And what's also good that they are relatively good service. If you're tired already and need something closer, it would be by the corner Aida. There would be a modern coffee place. Yeah? Of course, if you want to get to such a famous place as Zahir is a famous cake and a coffee place, you need to get to the end of the street. Yeah? And you'll find yourself behind the Opera House, and there would be Zahir. But for Zahir, 1 hour to walk there, back, probably would not be enough. For like next hour. Yeah. What else? And of course, the souvenir stores are all here on the street. Today, Sunday, all the shops are not open. Sorry to say that.
Gonna grab your umbrella here?
In a minute, I gotta get ready.
Yeah.
This has to go on the way.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye now.
Oh, yeah, the copy of the church. Neat.
St. Stevenson.
Yeah. Lucas Stevenson. That roof must have been something. Yeah, neat. Hello. Hello. Okay. That's cool.
That place, the house cake.
It's still raining, eh?
Oh, it's pouring. Big old raindrops.
Oh.
Is it?
Then you're not right at the entrance.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna get out here.
How you doing?
You ready? You want to open it?
Dry, right? You're doing fantastic. It's a nice. Oh, did it? Okay. It's a nice day if you're a kid.
Can you open it? Oh. Open it? Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you. No, we don't have time. Let's go. Look at that, Vienna. There, get a bag. We don't have bag. We spent her time in the cafe. I thought she said everything was closed. Anyways.
The souvenirs.
Oh, I guess not. Yeah.
Tourists.
Yeah.
It's all like the shops are closed.
Yeah. Ooh. Is that Swarovski? I think that's a watch over there. Those are watches, I believe. Aren't they? Or jewelry? Yeah, I think they're known for their watches.
I don't think we're going to be going anywhere this afternoon.
Not in the rain. I just want to get my droning and I hope it stops raining like they said. At least by 7.
This afternoon they go see the horses.
Stables?
How they're
Oh, the castle or something too.
the castle and then the other one is the horses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I saw those horses at the auditorium.
Yeah.
That was something. Oh, here's the church. Okay, I gotta.
They came out and knew who they were. I don't hear it. I don't hear her.
Oh, turn the volume up. Try turn.
Oh, it's not on.
Yeah, press the button.
Where is she?
Right here. Follow straight.
So it's 14, just a second,
this contact. I hear it now. Okay, thank you. Try to, yeah. We are all friends of ours, Francis Joseph, was already dead by the time. He died in 1960. To all the people is Charles. Charles is a very probably open
Saw that.
This side of the church. We've let the children go because it's no stopping, unfortunately. No stopping. We are the weakest part of it. Some very angry citizens here, very angry. Just to fly. So we'll take it. Centric and quickly exactly on the 11th of November 1918. So a couple of days, then Social Democracy, the new government, think, what shall we do with the family, with the ex-royal family now? So, tell the family you can go wherever you want. So you are not allowed only to stay in the country. It wasn't their desire. The family. Oh yeah. Switzerland. Switzerland. Palaces operating from Paris and belong to the state now. And money for saving in Switzerland. So they go to France. The story for a very ambitious lady, wife of the family. Her name was Tisha of His name was Sad. We need our last chance to try. So our last chance to stay by the power. So she wants to undertake the central declaration of the line. I rely on the support of the royal support, not that strong already by No, we're supposed to sing here in exile. So, they look at the map of Europe. No far. We can't let them stay close to them. Then he decided to send them to Portugal. What's the point of Europe? And he chose not to continental part of Europe. Yeah.
No, the holiday, we send us to holiday, but every time it's very wild island. What they family have to Pestua Bay. And we go there on the river, and very soon, unfortunately, young people don't get pneumonia there. It's really very little remedies at that time. No antibiotics at all. One of those things with 7 children already by the time, what do we know that she had? That is part of the life. That's it. Now our attention gets to the elder son of the family. His name was Paul. And often understood already that they lost the power of that. What he wanted to achieve, he wanted to be able to bring the family just back to the country. So he wanted to get the citizenship back. Because when he was sent to Vienna, he was required for citizenship to be on the citizen. And so Otto made it legal. That was important. He sent his petitions to the parliament. Austrian parliament to give citizenship back to their family. And so, but they wouldn't go back to Austria. But how did it happen? When did you get the citizenship back again? Only good. And how long you have to wait to bring them back again? And finally now, you understand a very important difference between the raising children of this hospital family. They really exist now, and they fear not only in Austria, but against childhood. It's not drugs they are the citizenship. In comparison to, for example, those countries as Great Britain, as Spain, Sweden, they all have this restrictive honor. That's why families, royal families, more or less still families. And we are
должны ходить брать бабку, которая не зарабатывает.
Is today Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Today's Sunday. Oh, but they're not in school today. No. It's just like us. The kids go to the industry, you know. Get used to quite a lot of the sightseeing and I love it. I get it. No. So now really it is definitely now the children here getting back to the bus. This is it, yeah. And thank you for being very, very kind.